In today's video, I want to tell you things that nobody probably told you about Denmark. We are in Copenhagen right now. It is a beautiful sunny day for Copenhagen. This is actually like unheard of. It's 27 degrees, which means I am melting. 27 degrees here is very hot. So my plan is to take a stroll around the city, show you around, show you all the beautiful sights in Copenhagen, and tell you random, weird, interesting, surprising facts about Denmark. Basically everything you should know about this country. Copenhagen is the city that I grew up in, so I do know it pretty well. And I thought it was about time to make a video like this about Denmark. I've already made a video like this about Poland and China, and you guys seem to like it, so the time has come for Denmark. So we're pretty much in the center of Copenhagen right now. I'm just walking by the water. I thought it's a nice place to show you guys and start this video just to give you some quick background on what Denmark actually is. Denmark is a very small country. The population is only 5 million people, and it's located in the north of Europe. It's one of the 3 Scandinavian countries, with the other 2 being Sweden and Norway. Today is an absolutely beautiful day, but don't be fooled by this weather, because on average it rains for 170 days here. So what it basically means is that the weather here is just not very great. And when the weather is like this, people go nuts. Everyone is so happy, everyone is out enjoying the good weather, because we simply don't get that much sun here. The official language in Denmark is Danish, so we do have our own language. Even though Denmark does belong to the European Union, we also have our own currency here, and it's the Danish krone, so we do not use euro in Denmark. Denmark has some of the highest taxes in the world. You can pay even up to 55% here in tax, and honestly that's not even that uncommon to pay that much in tax if you have higher education, if you are a doctor or a lawyer or an architect, or you are a business school graduate and you're working for a company, you have a decent job, you will probably pay 55% in tax. In Denmark, the legal drinking age is technically 16, or when you're 16 you can purchase beer and wine, whatever is below 16 degrees percent. A fun fact for some of you guys might be the fact that since you're allowed to drink when you're 16, we are allowed to drink in school. In high school we have parties where we can buy alcohol in school, which I know is quite weird for many people. So usually what you do before these parties is that you meet up either with your friends, or a lot of the time you meet up with your classmates. So you meet up with your classmates for pre-drinks, and then later on you go to school. And the school parties usually start quite early, so you usually start around 8 p.m. and you finish at 12 midnight. And the way it works is that you have to pay entrance fee to enter your school party. It's usually 50 Danish krones, and you have to show your ID, because only people who go to that school are allowed to enter. So then at those school parties there is a bar, and you're allowed to buy alcohol, you're allowed to buy beer or cider, and basically everyone gets wasted. But there are no teachers at those parties, so since we pay for the entrance, school can hire people who take care of that party. So there's no teachers, so that's not a concern that you cannot get wasted, because there will be teachers or whatever. It's quite an original thing. I don't know if it works like that in any other country, maybe in other Scandinavian countries, but I think in general it's quite unheard of for people to drink at school, to be able to purchase alcohol at school. That's kind of crazy, I think, but yeah, that's the way we grow up here. Denmark is a country that consists of over 400 islands. We're actually on an island right now as well. Copenhagen is located on an island called, in English it's called New Zealand. We have only one land border, and that's a land border with Germany. However, we're also connected with Sweden by a bridge, and many other Danish islands, especially the big ones, obviously are also connected with long bridges. So there are a lot of bridges in Denmark. So when you're above 18 and you choose to go to school in Denmark, you are paid sort of, I guess you could call it a salary by the government. How much you're being paid sort of depends on your life situations, whether you live with your parents or not. If you live with your parents, you're being paid less. If you live alone, you're being paid more. And it's not something you have to ever give back, so it's not a loan. It's basically sort of like being paid for going to school. I really wanted to film this video for you guys here in the city and show you different parts of Copenhagen, but I totally underestimated two things. One thing is the weather. The sun is so strong that I'm like low-key dying. I can barely talk anymore, and I kind of want to be sharp for this video because I don't also want to give you like wrong information and mess things up. Another thing that I kind of forgot is that people here stare a lot when you vlog, and since it's a very beautiful day, so many people are out on the streets and so many people stare, which I understand. Like, it's weird to see someone who's like, you know, like I'm just looking for a mirror so I can show you how ridiculous I look right now talking to a camera. I'm basically talking to myself, so I get it. It does look weird. I understand why people are looking, but you know, it kind of makes me a little shy sometimes. Sometimes it always makes me a little shy if too many people are looking at me when I'm vlogging, and I start thinking too much about it, and then I'm just like not focused. I am not gonna lie, it is not a day later, it is casually a couple of weeks later, and I thought I have to address it because I look drastically different. I'm a little tan, as you can see. If you cannot tell, I thought I would just say it in case you wouldn't notice. I'm having dinner with a friend of mine tonight, so I decided that I will just like hang out around the city before dinner and tell you a couple of more interesting facts about Denmark. And right now we are on our way to see probably the most popular place in all of Copenhagen. Not for people who live here, definitely not. Like, I've honestly been here maybe once, maybe twice, but I will show you something that everyone who comes to Copenhagen sort of must see. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you with the Little Mermaid, the most popular statue in all of Copenhagen, probably all of Denmark. It's very unimpressive, it's very little, hence the name Little Mermaid, not Big Mermaid. Let me show you again in case you've missed it. It is very little, but it's a popular thing to see here in Copenhagen. Yeah, I honestly don't really know why, but so if you come to Copenhagen, I would definitely not waste time coming all the way here just to see it. But what's cool about it is that it's located right by the water. So what I would recommend you to do is to do a cruise. Take a boat, do a cruise, and then you can see it as well. I mean, if it's something you're into. I thought I will show you. It's a popular thing in Denmark. This singer who made a very famous song that I think everyone knows, Lean On, Mu. She's Danish. The building right behind me, this one, is the headquarters of Maersk. Maersk is basically a huge Danish shipping company, and in general shipping is a really big deal, a huge industry here in Denmark, and it is estimated that apparently 10% of globally traded goods are shipped in Danish containers. Some of other big Danish companies that are known all around the world are probably Lego, the toys, Pandora, the jewelry, Carlsberg, beer, Bank Olufsen. So in general, considering the fact that Denmark is such a small country, there are quite a lot of like big globally known brands and companies that come from Denmark. In Danish school, you get 2 grades, one for writing and one for speaking. Not in all classes, mainly you get 2 grades in like most important classes. So you get 2 grades in like Danish, English, even math, which I guess maybe for some people it wouldn't really make sense. That you also get a grade for like speaking in your math class, but that basically means that it's really important in Denmark to speak up in class and like, you know, raise your hand. And it can totally happen that, for example, you're good at math, so you have a really good grade, and your written math, whatever, you have good grades from your tests and homework, but then you're not really that good at speaking up and you have a different grade in math speaking. Danish grading system is kind of interesting as well. So we don't have the same grades as you have in many other countries like ABC. No, we have a 12 numbers grade system, with the best grade being 12 and the worst grade being -02. Yes, I know. And it's not like they go right after each other, so it's not like 10, 11, whatever. No, it's -02, 00, 02, 4, 7, 10, and 12. So there is no 5, there is no 6. So it's 4, and then after 4 comes 7. I know it sounds very complicated, But yeah, that's what we do here. I don't know why, don't ask me why. In the Danish alphabet, we have 3 additional letters that I'll put on the screen right now that we don't have in the English alphabet. The second oldest amusement park in the world is located here in Denmark. It's called Bakken, and it was founded in 1583. I think the oldest one is located in Austria. But yeah, the second oldest is here in Copenhagen, or like a little bit outside of Copenhagen. Actually, the third oldest amusement park is also located here in Copenhagen, and it's called Tivoli, and it's located right in the heart of Copenhagen, right next to the central station actually. The concept of owning a summer house is very popular in Denmark, and it is estimated that apparently around 10% of Danes own a summer house or a summer cottage, whatever you would call it, in the countryside. Denmark is a monarchy. We have a queen here, and the queen lives right here. This is the royal castle of Denmark. It's called Amalienborg. And yeah, the queen lives here, and you can just like walk past, as you can see. There are basically 4 buildings here, and each of the buildings is meant for like the different part of the royal family. So like, let's say the queen lives in one building and she has 2 sons, so the other son lives in the next building. You get the point. In general, Danish monarchy is not as crazy intense like in some countries. The oldest one married a woman from Australia who was just like a normal person. She was not from a royal family, she was just a lawyer in Australia. And the other one married a woman from Hong Kong actually, but they got a divorce, and now I think he remarried again. So the point is that the whole royal family thing in Denmark is a little bit more open. They are allowed to marry normal people, they are allowed to get divorced. Of course, there is always a discussion whether a royal family is needed or not, but I would say that majority of Danish people do like the queen. The biggest island in the world, Greenland, is actually a part of Danish territory, or it's a part of the Danish kingdom. And other islands that are also quite far away from Denmark, that are also part of Denmark, are the Faro Islands. They're right above UK. They're those tiny islands. And obviously people in Greenland and in Faro Islands, they do have their own language, but Danish is also a language commonly spoken in Greenland and Faro Islands. So if you speak Danish, you can communicate in Danish there. You might have heard about Denmark in context of happiness. Denmark has been voted the happiest country on earth, I think several years in a row, and when Denmark doesn't occupy the first place, it's always like high up on the list. My personal opinion on it is that partly I do agree with, but partly I disagree. It's kind of like a bigger topic. I was actually considering making a whole video about it. Maybe I will one day. So in general, I kind of do see why people would consider themselves happy here. Denmark is a small, wealthy country where the social security is very good. You know that if something will happen to you, the system will take care of you, the government, you will get help. So I do understand why this feeling of safety and the fact that Danes really trust the system, it makes people feel happy in general. However, is Denmark really like the happiest country, one of the happiest countries on earth? I wouldn't be so sure about it. Denmark is also the birthplace of a very famous word, probably the most famous word in the Danish dictionary, Hygge. I made a whole video about it. You might have seen like hashtag Hygge on Instagram, and yeah, it's basically a word that means like the feeling of coziness, happiness and well-being. It's a word that you don't have in the English language, and that's like one of the reasons why it became so popular. Denmark is also well known around the world for bike culture. A lot of people bike here. It is estimated that apparently 50% of people use bike to get to work in Copenhagen. And to be honest, I totally believe that. I would even maybe say that it's more, I don't know, but it is very normal to own a bike here. I mean normal, everyone owns a bike here and most of people use bikes very frequently. Danish women got the right to vote in 1915, which is 4 years earlier than women in the US. So this street right behind me is probably the most popular street in all of Copenhagen. You always see it on all these like postcards, or if there is a picture of Copenhagen, you probably see this street right here. It is called Nyhavn. So Nyhavn is definitely a very touristy place. There's always tons of people here, and it's not really a place where you hang out if you live here, but I guess that's how it always goes. If you live in Paris, you don't necessarily hang out by the Eiffel Tower either. But if you come to Copenhagen, I would definitely recommend you to come here and take one of the tour boats. Obviously, it is a very touristy thing to do, but I have myself done it a couple of times when I had people visiting, and it is really cool. I think it's really cool to see Copenhagen from the water perspective. So we are at Kongens Nytorv right now, which is one of the main squares here in Copenhagen. Basically like one of the centers of Copenhagen, I guess you can say. And I'm gonna go to take metro now, so I won't be late for dinner because I am always late. So I don't want to be late today.
Change at Copenhagen Central Station for the M3 line, regional trains and express trains.
And you know, it's also funny or interesting how fast cities change, like how dynamic big cities are, and that's something I really love. So this whole area where we're walking right now, it's like right behind the central station. The central station is actually right there. And it used to be like not the best area. Not that it was like a horrible area, but it was just like not the most like desirable, cool area to live. And a while back, a couple of years back, it slowly became more of a like upcoming hipster neighborhood. And now when I'm walking around here, I'm almost like don't really like recognize it anymore because it changed so much and it became like so much cooler. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you've learned some stuff about Denmark that you might not know. And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel. It would mean a lot to me, and hopefully see you soon. Bye.